Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We got some news for Granblue Fantasy vs Rising, and this time it's Grimnir's trailer, the new character that was revealed during EVO, and I believe probably the last character of the base roster for Granblue Fantasy vs Rising. That's a mouthful, but interestingly enough, we've only seen very split second of the character in that big release date trailer for the game, right? I've only seen very few seconds of him, so he'll seem to be kind of agile, kind of mobile-ish. I clicked in the video a little bit here and there just to see if if we had anything else, but it does seem to be the case. Anyways, we're gonna look at the character in this trailer. I don't know, aesthetically speaking, he doesn't seem to be that interesting to me. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people like him, especially the reactions based on what happened whenever he was revealed during EVO. That seemed pretty cool. But there's also something else I wanted to include in the video, and that's a little interview that was that actually happened during EVO or right after EVO with the director of the game, talking about the beta and everything that players talked about. The reviews and stuff like that. So we're gonna look into that. I wanted to actually record that video when the interview happened, but I couldn't. I was kind of busy, and I've been kind of busy ever since. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to wait for the next time there's news for Granblue, whenever I can actually talk about that interview. So there's a lot of good things into that. We're gonna look into it too, but for now we're reacting to the trailer. So let's go. I'm not sure if the sounds are okay. I might have to raise the volume a little bit more. Yeah, aesthetically speaking, he's not my character. But I can see the appeal. Also, hold on. Wait a minute. Why is it banging? What's the music banging? Okay, we're at 1080. Yo. Why is this theme so good? This is a real anime fighting game character. Dude, why is this theme so good? He has a DP. Of course, everybody has a DP. Why is this theme so good? This is the what the? He has command dash, he has flips, he has mixed up too, it seems. Oh my god. Air combos, huh? Oh god. Yeah, this is the real ass anime character. 100%. That's crazy. Yeah. you know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of these characters from, what is it called? Elsword. You guys know Elsword? It kind of reminds me of that. That's pretty cool. I like him. He seems to have a lot of yeah. What is this? This shit looks scary. Like, as soon as he does this, you know what's going to happen. You know it's going to be messed up. Let me see this in action real quick. What was that ultimate skill? Projectile, probably? Right? Yeah, projectile ultimate skill. He flashes with the other one. Damn, look how fast Belial is. That's crazy. That's an EX. Regular EX. He has enough time to do this. Wow. Oh god, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? High low. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's messed up. This character is a real anime character. This is a BlazBlue character. It's like Izayoi already. But that's funny because I got that impression earlier from Vera. Vera looks like a BlazBlue character too, except she needs the install. He seems to have the install right away. This character looks scary. Wait a minute, is that? Wait. He has an install too? He also has an install, huh? which is interesting. So something that was really weird for, a character, for example, Vera has an install, but her install super is cool because it's actually like a reversal. You can use it as a reversal, and she has that. But you have characters like, well, she also has access to it through command grab. But you have a character like Siegfried, right? Siegfried has an install as well. The problem with Siegfried is that you use 100% of your meter to use the install, and you lose like half your health too. And it's like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's not that great. Like, it's not easy to get an install in the game. Well, it kind of is, obviously, but at the same time, though, install supers, huh? I mean, Fairy initially was the one with the install, to be honest, and it seems like it's never been really an issue for her. I don't know how to feel too much about install supers in this game in general, but I don't know. Maybe this would be worth it for the character, and even Andre, right? He has an install too, but you don't really see it too often. But anyways, yeah, he looks cool. I think he looks pretty interesting. I'm sure he appeals to a lot of people. I'm sure there's a lot of people who like this character. He has a lot of cool things. His theme, 10 out of 10 already. I like it. Granblue always hits, man. Never misses with the music. But anyways, we're gonna look at the interview because that's something that I actually want to do. So this happened, like I said, was right after Evo, right? August 7th. So that's when it happened. Or was it during Evo? Actually, it might have been during. I'm not sure, but it was around that time. So there's the article here. You have the interview. You have actually the actual interview here, but it's all in Japanese. So if you want to adventure yourself with Google Translate, like I did, you can do that too. But they talk about a lot of really interesting things. So I will go through everything that they talk about, and then I'll just give you the most important lines, the things that matter to the people, right? So let's do it. So the question was about the decisions behind making the 4 new characters in Rising, and it seems like they are trying to go more for, Rising will be more focused on character popularity for the cast editions, which is good because it's a game that needs it. Like, you need the characters that are really interesting upfront. Like a character like Uno, I think a lot of people can agree he's kind of an L for the game. Who cares about him? I would have much rather had 6 before Uno, right? When it comes to the Eternals, and even for the Eternals, I think there are way more interesting characters than Uno to have. It's kind of like whatever, man. You don't really care about him. But I think they really wanted to have that character just for the sake of variety in terms of designs. Right? There are lots and lots of characters that can be definitely added, and a lot of people like Beatrix. I've seen a lot of people talking about Vicala. I've seen a lot of people asking for Steophon or Siete. I want Ilsa. I think she looks very cool. She has 2 guns too. She's badass and she's hot. And obviously Vayne and Lucifer, people want them. Sandalphon is number 1. It's crazy. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the season 1 DLC. That's for sure. So we can definitely expect some really nice characters to be added. But yeah. So they say Artstation team are still analyzing the feedback from July's open beta. They are mostly consistent in the feedback. So they say that the previous version in current Granblue versus that they talk about defensive stalemates, like when people just look at each other. That would happen a lot because it's difficult to open up the opponent and stuff like that. And I do kind of agree that it was a very... I don't even think it was that defensive. It depended a lot on the players. Definitely you would see a bigger preference for more defensive play and patience from most of the best players, I would say. Like, for example, I think Gamera is a great example of that. Gamera moves back and forth a lot. He's not like the most aggressive player. But I wouldn't put all the players in that category. There's definitely a lot of room for aggressive playing Granblue, especially when you see characters like 6 on the screen. The game is very active. I wouldn't say it's aggressive, it's very active. So there's definitely a lot of things that can happen, but I don't know. I think in this version they wanted to add more, they want more emphasis of, on aggression, which is interesting, but at the same time we know it comes at a cost. And I think that's why they mentioned it here, that they wanted to, encourage people to use Raging Strike to use more aggressive play. But they also explain, I like this line, I guess I'm going to say it, but what is simple to some is overpowered to others. That's a pretty good line. So at the time window, oh yeah, so they also talk about the time window for throws in general. And I think it's interesting because they explain that throws actually, where the reason why it was the way it was communication failure by the team. So the idea was that throws were supposed to be much faster in terms of startup, but the players didn't see the throws being necessarily faster. And that's why you have, there were a lot of situations actually when during the beta when you try to use like a fake meaty on somebody and they can throw you out of it on wake up because throws were faster. And now you also have counter throws, so they wanted throws to be used more defensively, like you can just mash on throw and get out of the situation. But that idea kind of failed. They didn't communicate that well enough, so I think they want to emphasize a bit more on that. So they do say here that it's easy for players to see the greatly extended window to break free from the throws, and harder to see that faster throw startup and higher damage were meant to change how they are used. So of course players hated them. So that's the that's the problem here. With throws. I think that's definitely something we'll see some change in terms of throw, that's for sure. It's not going to be the same. I don't know if it means that it will be reverted to what it was in Granblue Versus, but there will definitely be some changes to throws. So Raging Strike, they say Raging Strike was also a hot topic in feedback. It was meant as a strong way to crack on opponents' defense that both experts and newer players can use, but the short beta period really accentuated its power, possibly more than they intended. That's a pretty funny thing. I mean, it's very strong. 25%. It gives you a combo. Yeah, sure. Of course, you will fucking use. You'll always use it. It's really good. Changes meant to make matches more aggressive and less turtle friendly. Asking if simple inputs being normalized with technical input make defensive play stronger in Rising, forcing players to rely even more on Raging Strike. Fukura replies that the difference in simple versus technical didn't change overall strategies that much in GBVS. However, systems meant to reward technical inputs were instead taken to mean that simple inputs were bad, which partially led to the decision to normalize the two. So basically, they're saying they just wanted to get rid of that difference. They basically just wanted to get rid of it because it didn't matter much. They just wanted more people to play the game the way they wanted. The next section talks about Raging Strike versus Ultimate Skill, the most interesting part, to be honest, and Fukura admits that Raging Strike were much easier to learn and more clearly powerful during the beta than Ultimate Skills, which led to an over-reliance on Raging Strike and consequently slowed down combat. Yeah, because that's something that people actually mentioned in some of their reviews for the beta, is that Raging Strike was so good that basically it would slow down the game a bit more, because now you don't want to use your stuff. You're kind of scared that the opponent can use it because it can use Raging Strike. You're kind of looking out for it, right? So you want to turtle a bit more so that you can just get Raging Strike out of the way. And that was kind of an unfortunate situation, I would say. Aside from the invincible ultimate skills, players didn't feel like they had uses for ultimate skills, something that Fukura would like to change. Needing some lab to unlock is one thing. Sometimes to lab to unlock is one thing, but failing the eyeball test is something the team doesn't want for ultimate skill. This is what I like the most about Granblue personally, is that I think Granblue is a game that is easy to learn how to play by just playing the game. Like, you don't have to spend time in the lab. And that, to me, that's the most important thing for this game. And I think visually delivering the idea of a move that is really good, I think it's really important. For example, you have Ultimate Karma. The move is fucking good. It's like, holy shit, covers the screen, anti-air, fucking god crush. You do it can, it's so good. Like the move is good. And then you have a move for in comparison that is equally as good, I would say, is Zoe's lightning, ultimate lightning. So ultimate lightning for Zoe, a lot of people didn't know this, but the initial hit, you know, when she uses it normally, like EX ultimate lightning, on close range, it's a hit. But in ultimate skill, the hit is actually a god crush, and the lightning gets to hit you right after. So it's a really good move too for Zoe. But you don't get to see that. It's not very well delivered. You don't get to see that the initial hit actually has something to it. Or another move that is actually, that was kind of decent but not that had potential, I would say, but not well delivered, for example, is Percival's projectile, like ultimate projectile. It leaves a little pool of flame that damages you over time. Like, even if you cannot block it, it's like unblockable damage. You'll take it regardless of what happens. The problem is, first of all, the pool is very small, but second of all, the damage is not that high either, and the duration of it is very short too. So things like that, you need ultimate skill to be much more impactful in some of those cases. So definitely, I think they will change ultimate skills more, and that's a good thing. I'm glad that they're saying that, and they'll adjust also probably the usage of the God Crush, you know, or Raging Strike, so that people don't use that, not rely on it so often. Similarly, the focus on Raging Strikes as the main use of SBA Gauge meant that there weren't nearly as many Skybound Arts and Super Skybound Arts being used, and Fugura believes that the satisfaction of landing and watching SBAs shouldn't be left behind. That will be a priority. Yes. Overall, the interview is just about, like, again, they asked very good questions, like about the throw tech window, about the fact that ultimate skills versus Raging Strike, things like that, you know, the meter that was mostly used for Raging Strike as well, and brave counters and stuff like that. So that's really good. It was a pretty good interview, I would say. Like I said, overall, things that people didn't like Raging Strike, like also throw tech windows and stuff like that, those will definitely change. But yeah, so pretty good interview. I don't know, I'll leave the link in the description below if I did a bad job at talking about it. If you want to read into it yourself, if you want to, you know, click on the link with the article, the main article here. If you are able to read Japanese and probably translate it too, you can go there, you can translate it yourself. It's pretty much a good idea of what the developers are talking about too, and what they're looking at when it comes to this game. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think Grimnir looks cool. It's not my type of character, but I will give it a shot whenever the game comes out. I'll give a shot to every new character, to be honest. I'm interested in trying out Anila, trying out Nier, trying out Grimnir as well. Secret was pretty cool to play too in the beta, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully the new we get some news on the 16th, because they say there's going to be an event for Granblue on September 16. Hopefully we get some news on the new beta, and we get to actually play more of the new characters like Anila or Nier at least. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.